Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thurman Eldon Brunson. I'd like to welcome you to IntelliStress Profound Management. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's entertainment, or we say tonight's show. We're going to talk about something very interesting. This show is actually called Stories on the Calendar. We talk about scenarios. Scenarios, 1 or 2 minute scenarios about people and the things people do. We like to talk about the decisions people make when they do things. And maybe we can highlight why things are not better, why things turn out differently no matter how we plan, how much we plan, how much thought we put into it. Sometimes things seem just to go a different way, go in different directions. Why? We don't know. But our stories that we're going to present to you, we're going to try to deal with that the best way we can. I hope you enjoy our story tonight. But first, let's go back in time and kind of highlight on the past. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't go to the past because you should leave the past behind and go on to your future and seek newer things and better things, things that's going to improve your life. Well, I don't know how many of you know this. Probably a lot of you do. Most sports fans do. I'm not a very avid sports fan, but I do like sports very much. Like I said, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. And to make note here, on April 20th, now I was born in the year 1945. Matter of fact, October 23rd, 1945. However, in April of 1945, this was a few months before I was born, a guy by the name of Arthur Mickey McBride formed the Cleveland Browns. Did anybody know that? How many people knew that? Yes. Arthur Mickey McBride formed the Cleveland Browns April 20th, 1945. The month that I was born, that I entered this world of human civilization. Cleveland Browns, well, we have a lot of Cleveland Brown fans out there, and every year they're hopeful. Every year they're saying, win, win, win. We know the Cleveland Browns are going to win this year. Someday, I truly believe that they are going to go to the Super Bowl. Someday. But when, I don't know. We have a lot of new talent now that is going to have to prove themselves. And I think a lot of times the Cleveland Browns, I think proving themselves every year is, I think that's an obstacle, to their success. Good luck, Cleveland Browns. I'm in your corner. October 23rd, my birthday. Well-known person, everybody knows Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson, baseball player. Jackie Robinson signed with the Montreal Royals on my birthday, October 23rd. Signed with the Montreal Royals. Montreal, that's in Canada. I believe that's Canada, if I'm not mistaken. If I say something I'm not mistaken, well, just forgive me for it. But anyway, what does that tell us? What does life tell us? What is that telling us? That telling us that we should be good sports. They say that, well, life is not a game. That's for sure. Life is not a game. But we play games, or what we call games. What do games do? They develop character. They give you a reason for living. Hopefulness. You know, a sense of things are definitely going to be all right. So competition games are good. I like sports. You know, most sports I care for. I like. So, but anyway, Cleveland Browns, Jackie Robinson, football, baseball. You know, that was one of the better things that were happening when I was born, during the year I was born. But during that year had its negative. It was one of the most negative years one of them that I could think of, because there was so much turmoil going on in the world. You see, so we have to improve ourselves. That's the name of the game, improving ourselves. Tonight's scenario. Okay, a young man who did not prove to be a good sport. He seemed to have argued with a friend of his. So the friend of his called him one day and said, well, I'll forget it. Let's let bygones be bygones, and let's be friends. You know, let's go out tonight. Guy said, no, I have something else to do. He didn't have anything else to do. This went on for almost a month. The friendship or the relationship got worse instead of better. Only because of an argument. You know what the argument was? It was about a sports team and the players on the team. One guy said, oh, this team can outplay this other team. And the other guy, his friend, said, oh, no, they can't. And he gave many reasons why they couldn't, but the other guy gave many reasons why the team he chose were a better team. One guy, what you call a sore loser, that's what they call him. He said, no, we're ending our relationship because we don't see eye to eye. We don't see eye to eye. We cannot agree on anything. So we're going to end the relationship. Now they're the best friends, the best of friends. You see one, you see the other. They do everything together. But just because of this particular instance where they disagreed on a sports game, the relationship went awry, non-existent anymore. One guy, he wanted to continue the relationship because it didn't bother him about who won the game. But the other guy, it got to him. It gnawed at him. Why is this? Why one person can take life and with a grain of salt and just say, well, you know, that's the way it is. And another person just can't. Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Sometimes it's personal reasons. But this guy didn't have any personal reasons. He just disagreed. Now, that was a bad decision on his part, based upon the judgments that he made. A bad judgment on his part, let's say. Although he had the facts of his team, but he made a bad judgment. And the relationship that he once had that was so wonderful was no more. So now what could he have done? If he felt so deeply about that particular team, he still could have said, well, I agree with you. I agree with you that both teams have their good and bad points. He could have said, your team, although I think my team is better, your team also is good. Your team has good points. Now, what he could have done was name or inform his friend about the good points that his team had. You know, although he had preference for his own team, he still could have pointed out the good points of the other team. He could have taken in consideration the talent and ability of the guys that played. He didn't have no consideration at all for his friend, nor the relationship, nor the adverse team. It was very personal to him for whatever reason. And we're not going into any reason because we don't want to cross the line and analyze anybody. But we do know that the person made a poor judgment. He could have been a good sport about it, but he wasn't. He was a bad sport about it. Now, I have friends. I know I got friends out there, and this is nothing personal with my friends, but we all represent the greater strata of our environmental society. So you don't want to be a bad sport thinking, well, wow, he said something that touched me. And when I might have said, no, not at all. It's not like that at all. I'm just generalizing what is going on in the world. You have to remember, everybody is so similar until it is slight differences between us. Because we all have two hands, we have head on our shoulders, we have a body, we all have eyes, nose, whatever. They're just minute differences between us, you know, like color, mannerisms, and things like that. The thing is that knowledge of these differences should not make you hate. Knowledge of the differences should make you interested in how to make things better. You have a lot of people, the first thing they want to do is hate. The first thing they want to do is say, disagree. No. You know, And you might be disagreeing with somebody who know the facts, but you still disagree. Now, a lot of people out there right now, they're being touched by that because they do. Why they do? Well, you have to take a survey to ask them why. Why, when they know the facts about something, they know something is true or not true, yet they will argue the point. Maybe for the sake of argument. Maybe that's what they like to do. People like to gamble. Maybe that's like gambling. And maybe you like to disagree. You like to gamble. You know, it's a win or lose thing. That's what's going in today's world. Just think in 1945 when you have this guy named McBride and Jackie Robinson. These were a couple of good things or pleasurable things that happened during that year of turmoil or that era of turmoil. So we look for the good things and what life is telling us. It's like saying, well, life is a jungle. You know, you have to survive. The first law of life is self-preservation. So you have to survive. But then to say, here's a couple of things for you that happened good. So the guidance is there. It's telling us, be a good sport about things. Don't be so selfish. Your side is better than that side. How do you really know? If you got two equal sides, two equal teams playing for the Super Bowl, evidently both of those teams got to have some out-of-sight characters playing ball. So you can't totally set this, any one of those teams, you can't totally set them aside. Because each one has very talented players with much ability. So we have to remember how we're going to communicate with each other. What we're going to think. What we're going to, in our minds, what are we going to think all the time? Well, number one, you're going to think about, like they said, an introspection. You're going to think about yourself and other people. You see other people walk around. How do you want to treat those? How do you want those people to treat you? You know, do you want them to treat you kindly? Do you want them to say things that's going to give you uplift and help you in your thinking about yourself in the world? Give some thought to people rather than criticizing. Like today in our communities, I think the black community is getting a lot of flack. A lawyer told me one time, he said, you're getting a raw deal. Raw deal? Yes, you're getting a raw deal. Okay. That's all I know is a raw deal. But I am not the only one in the world that's getting a raw deal. Countries are getting raw deals. Thankfulness is a good deal. To be thankful and try to help others to experience the good things in life. Be a good sport every day. Always think about maybe your opponent or the person that you have a dispute with have some good points. Think about the good points. You know, and then you might find out that that same person can benefit, is an experience in your life that's going to be a turning point in your life to make things better for you. Really, I'm serious. You might meet somebody on the street anytime, anywhere, at work, you know, in your community. That person, like I just said, might be the turning point in your life to make your life better. It's like the lottery, like winning the lottery. You say you're gamblers. Why don't you gamble on people? Gamble on each other. Say hello. You know, be kind to each other. You know, don't think that giving someone or a group of people, don't think giving them a raw deal is a good thing. Because they got the raw deal. 9 times out of 10, you didn't give them the raw deal, but they got the raw deal. It's your job to help them, to help solve their problem. Now, like I said, there's a lot of reasons that people don't want to help. There's a lot of reasons. But if we start making an effort as a collective people, as people of great character. Sometimes you have to step outside of your ordinary character to become a great character. And your thoughts should communicate with that great character. And you should be honest and sincere about helping other people in other countries. You know, think about what they're going through. Don't be so selfish until you're blind. You ever heard of blind justice? Don't let blind justice be your demise. You know, you want to see with your heart sometimes. See with what you really feel. And I'm quite sure that all of us really feel compassion for each other. And it should. When something happened to someone, people join together. And they do everything to help, and they can feel. They feel. But I'm going to tell you something. Nowadays, people are not feeling like they used to when things happen. They have that smile on their face. Like, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, well, and I remember when people used to really, it really got to them when real things happen, when real stressors happen. And that's what we're talking about in this show, on these shows. We're going to talk about stressors. We're going to talk about job stress. We're going to talk about stress within the home that are prime factors for broken homes and broken lives. We're going to talk about the problem of alcohol. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. So now our programs, like I said, we usually want to do about a 30-minute program, and we want to talk about topics that means something to us, like what we talked about tonight. Something you can think about, you know. So this is what I want to leave with you. Be a good sport. You know, when you're arguing or you're having a dispute about yourself, be a good sport about it. And another thing, and we're going to talk about marital relationships. I was telling a friend of mine one time, he said his wife left him for another man. I quickly told him, did you get mad at the man that she left with? He said, yeah, I'm going to do something. That ain't the way to do it. Competition. It's the game. It was a threesome. Her, the person that she was with, and the other guy. She went with the other guy. Don't get mad at the other guy, because he won. It was up to her. If she hadn't said no to him, he would have been the loser. So why get mad at him? Think about it. These are things that if you think about, and you'll say to yourself, oh, but the thing about it, you don't want to harm that relationship that you have. If you can strengthen that, now I'm telling you, it's not easy. But if you can strengthen that relationship or do what's necessary not to harm anyone or to cause a problem because of it. If you be a good sport about it, then life will smile upon you, and you might get involved with a relationship that's far greater and make you far happier than the one that you were in. My name is Thurman, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the program. I hope I have said something that can help you out in your daily endeavors and help you to cope with life and the daily demands of life. I hope what I have said will help you to react in a most pleasurable way for you and others concerned. So thank you for listening to our program tonight. My name is Thurman. Peace out, and I will see you on our next program. And be sure to tune in. Okay, thank you.